speaking of martyrs and people who have been really unfairly put upon, let me ask you about Meghan Markle.
One of the great martyrs of our time.
Poor thing. Her castle was so small. She is apparently getting back into the podcast lane thanks to this far left pro-women Lemonada company. Richard Eden over in the Daily Mail, your old hot, has a piece today saying they're struggling to get this thing out of the starting blocks. No podcasts are even expected anytime this year and not until 2025. And the podcast, by the way, is going to celebrate the joys of cooking, or at least something she's doing. Her Netflix show, I guess, is going to celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship, Piers. She's going to be teaching us how to be a good friend. I can't wait to find out from Meghan Markle what that's like.
Well, as one of the many friends that she cut off spectacularly the moment she got a bit of royal action, along with her entire family, of course, on both sides, apart from her mother, I don't think Meghan Markle's in any position to be lecturing anybody about friendship. I mean, it always made me laugh that the Archewell website, their charitable foundation, says it's dedicated to compassion. I mean, it's hard to imagine two people who've been less compassionate in the last few years to the ones around their loved ones than these two, right? This is two people who trashed all their family, you know, whether it was her father or whether it was Harry's entire family at a time when Prince Philip and the Queen were both dying.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
There they were on national television, from Oprah Winfrey to Netflix to whoever, you know, as the Spotify guy put it, whatever grift they could get paid for, up they were trashing their families. So the idea now that they're reduced, or that certainly Meghan Markle is now reduced from somebody who, you know, remember Meghan, she had a fairy tale royal wedding that was seen around the world. You know, the carriages drawn down to Windsor Castle and so on. It was an amazing event. Everyone in this country, I'm in the UK at the moment, everyone loved that marriage when it happened. There was universal support for it, euphoria. It was only their behaviour in the first year of their marriage when they began to behave rankly hypocritically, lecturing about poverty whilst having $500,000 baby showers, you know, to lecturing us about the need to watch our carbon footprint and using Elton John and George Clooney's private jets like taxi cabs. And it was the constant hypocrisy.
Okay.
They got picked up on by the media, and then they couldn't handle the criticism from the media, and then it all turned hostile. Then they started suing everybody, and the whole thing got so toxic. Eventually, they just say, we've had enough of this. We're not going to do any more dreary duties on a wet Wednesday.
Stop it.
Which is what you have to do to, you know, to earn your royal titles in the estimation of the public. And they decamped off to Montecito, bought themselves a massive mansion. And they were supposed to be doing it, Meghan, if you remember, you know, this was going to be their liberation, their freedom.
Wait for it.
And it was supposed to make them happy. I've never seen two more miserable people who never stop whining and suing absolutely everybody in the pretense that this is because they found their liberation and freedom. If you're so damn happy and free and liberated,
Are you serious?
well, shut up, stop whining and complaining about everything. But they're obviously not happy. And it's obviously been diminishing returns where when you trash your family again and again and again, eventually there's not much left to say. And people don't really want to hear it. It's like the Spotify guy said, they're just a pair of grifters who just want to trash their family for loads of money and not put a shift in to do proper work. You and I know how hard it is to do this kind of thing properly. You know, it's a lot of work with a dedicated team, and you put the hours in, and you've got to be creative and
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
high energy and really put graft in. These two wanted to do massive deals with companies and then not do any work. Nobody wants to see her next podcast. Nobody listened to the first one. And that's for this thing she's now doing with the ridiculously long name that no one can remember, where she's going to try and be the
American, whatever. I have to write it to American Riviera Orchard, see footnote 47 for the remainder of the name.
Right. And she's now got all her celebrity, you know, sort of B-list, C-list mates.
Stop it.
Putting out Instagram posts about her jam, and it's like, how the mighty fall. This was a woman who had it all in this country. who literally had it all and is now flogging jam from her kitchen in Montecito, while her husband runs around fuming about absolutely everything and everyone, because he knows in his gut, he knows what he's lost. And eventually those chickens will come home to roost.
And then she will be touting their eggs on her stupid website where she's wearing evening gowns while walking around her mansion that we're supposed to feel sorry for her because she's in. I love it. But on the grifter subject, one of the funniest things is Bill Simmons, who said that at Spotify, I've never seen such a pair of grifters. They wouldn't do any work. She got paid all this money. She barely did anything. Him too.
Yeah.
And now she signs this pod deal with this Lemonada. We're not getting a podcast for years. And then she decides to sign this deal with Netflix. She's done nothing other than now this show she's going to do on cooking and friendship. Finally, okay, we'll believe it when we see it. And then finally, she's got her little Riviera thing going, where so far we've had one jar of strawberry jam. She's so lazy.
It's the whole thing. It's sort of lazy and a bit pathetic. You know, this is somebody who demands that we use the title Duchess of Sussex. I come from Sussex, which is a county in the south of England. I've spent more time in Sussex in the last month than Meghan Markle has spent in her entire life. She has actual
She's
right.
your ruler, Piers. I didn't know that. She's your...
She ain't my ruler, Meghan Kelly. She is somebody who, listen, as I've said to you, I think many times before, if they actually want to do this kind of thing and trade themselves around as sort of, celebrities and do that sort of circus, then they can do it. But they can't
Stop it.
do it with the royal titles. They shouldn't be using the royal titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, bestowed on them by the monarchy, an institution they constantly complain about and trash whenever they get the chance. Fine, you want to go off and be celebrities in California, do it. But
Are you serious?
don't trade on the titles. Every time I see her demanding to be called Duchess of Sussex, I laugh. Nobody in Britain calls her that. It's Meghan Markle. She got lucky, met her prince, dragged him out of the bosom of his family, dragged him away from the monarchy.
That doesn't make sense.
Which bestowed those titles on them, and has now ruthlessly, with him, exploited those titles for massive personal gain. And I think it's disgusting and hypocritical. They shouldn't be allowed to do it. I hope that King Charles, who obviously is massively distracted by his illness, but I hope that King Charles at some stage just has that conversation and says, you can't keep the titles, I'm sorry, but you can't keep demeaning the status of being a member of the royal family and attacking the family and the monarchy and retain your titles. You can
Surprise,
just be Harry and Meghan and see how you get on, by the way, when you're no longer royals, because the answer is not very far.
That's right. Who wants your jam then?
This week, I had a Twitter debate, just like I have a Twitter debate every week. This time, it was with an individual by the name of Serena Daniari. After we exchanged a few tweets, I invited Serena to the show for an open dialogue. And I was absolutely thrilled that, unlike most people on the left who won't talk to me face-to-face, Serena agreed to join me in person. Unfortunately, after my producers booked Serena's flight and hotel, Serena backed out. So instead of having that conversation,
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
we're instead going to have this segment of Counterpoints. So this is where the entire debate began. It was actually about vaccines. And Serena came across my rhetoric, which she deems to be anti-vax. Because I have been very open with the fact that I am not comfortable with the rush nature of the COVID-19 vaccines or the pressures around getting the vaccines. And so I've made a personal decision not to get the vaccine. And this deeply upset Serena. Serena tweeted to me, "You are the one who is deranged and urging your millions of followers that the only true means of preventing a deadly virus that has taken hundreds of thousands of lives is not effective. Live without fear by all means.
What?
But to spread delusional lies is morally repugnant." And this amazed me. It amazed me that Serena called me delusional because, in case you did not know, Serena is trans. So I had stumbled across the internet as somebody who is a trans woman who is accusing me of being delusional because I am making a personal decision regarding my own health. And it actually gets even more bizarre.
Fact.
Serena went on in this Twitter exchange, and of course I answered back, and I said, I just want to make sure that you're a trans woman telling me that I am a delusional person because I choose not to get a vaccine. You believe that between you and I am living in a delusion. Is that correct? To which Serena answered,
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Yes, Queen, I believe you are delusional. While my decision as a trans woman to get breast implants and turn my penis into a vagina impacts literally no one but me, your choice to deny science and spread anti-vax misinformation that spread delusion impacts many. Denying science. A trans woman is accusing me of denying science. Is biology not science? Is anatomy not science? Are none of these things physiology? Is that not science? So this is where we are in 2021, where we are now being preached to about the reality of science by people that have made decisions to transform their bodies and believe fully that they can actually pick their genders.
Are you serious?
This spat went on, it went back and forth, and Serena then said, I say this to you with an open heart. There is no singular experience of womanhood. Reducing women to anatomy and reproductive abilities is an insult to so many women, trans and cis. What about the women who have fertility issues? Are they less of a woman? Those with hysterectomies, period. Okay, I want to respond to this because it's important. I have been a very loud voice against the transgendered movement, and I feel that I am one of the few voices that is standing up for women. I want to continue to do that right now on Counterpoint. So, counterpoint number one is that this culture of the media and the academia and people pretending that
okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
Being a woman means to simply walk in and pay for a cosmetic procedure is deeply misogynistic. My second counterpoint to you, Serena, is that a cosmetic procedure,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That going in and getting breast implants makes you a woman is an insult. I'll tell you why. Because what this trans movement represents is a caricature of what it means to be a woman.
Fact.
Being a woman isn't just having a procedure and getting your breasts done. I don't believe that Dolly Parton is more of a woman because she has extra large breasts. I want to give this to you another way. And I'll ask the question, Serena, do you believe that you can pick your race? Do you
You better answer the fucking question.
think race is a social construct? Do you believe that if you dyed your skin black and said, yo, 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 what up, my N-word, that would mean that you were suddenly black? Or would you realize that that would be a caricature of what it means to be black?
Fact.
That would be a joke to believe that because you said ayo and you rap and you wear a chain and some gold teeth, hey, I'm black. Nope. That would be an insult and a stereotype. And it is an insult and a stereotype to believe that makeup and breasts makes somebody a woman. And as my last counterpoint to you, Serena, I would like to address your idea that some women have hysterectomies. That's true. Some women have fertility issues. Does that make them less of a woman, you asked? And let me answer that question, no.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
It does not make them less of a woman. In fact, it affirms their womanhood. Only women can have hysterectomies. Only women go through menstruation. Only women can talk about that struggle of what it's like going through IVF and trying to conceive a child and what pressures that puts on the female body. That actually affirms their womanhood. These are experiences that only women can have. And when you decide that that means nothing, that you can walk in and pick a plastic surgeon and suddenly that makes you me, it's deeply hurtful and deeply upsetting. And I will continue to be a voice against it.